finally, I got this thing to go. This, if I had made a video from start to finish on this repair of this unit, it'd been a 3-hour video, 2.5 hours at least. And here's a story on this unit. This is an older model Gallagher. It's called M1800. They don't make it anymore. It came out in, I think, like 2003 and was discontinued about 2013-14. Gallagher stopped production on parts, replacement parts, about 2019 or 20. So they went about 7 years or so of making parts for this model. Now they don't make anything for it anymore. You can get capacitors for it and stuff. And you can find capacitors from other brands that will work with these and stuff like that. So that's not a big deal. But transformers are made by Gallagher in-house. Boards are built by Gallagher in-house. So the story on this one was, it belongs to a guy out of Texas. He took it to his local store. Store sent to Gallagher. Gallagher, from what I can tell, didn't even take it apart because they got the screws. One of the screws would not come loose at all. It was rounded out. So, and I can see where someone had pried on the case. Let me show you the case. Someone had tried, the crap that was inside this. I still got to clean this thing up. Anyway, someone tried prying on the case right here to try to pry it open. And there's 6 screws. 2 were completely missing. 2 came out, and the third one would not. I had to really fight that thing. But you could get it kind of half open, and then you could smell electrical burn smell, electronic burnt up stuff. And I smelled that as soon as I started getting it open. I was like, oh shit, this thing stinks. So I was like, well, I want to get it apart at least, take a look at it. And it was a mess. Luckily I had another unit here, just like this model, but it was good. And we just need to put a transformer in the thing from another brand, and it will do a video on that maybe sometime. But anyway, so basically on this unit here, this is the front side, all this over here was completely burned up bad. So you can find the original transformer that came out of this thing. I don't know if I might have tossed it already. Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. Man, where'd it go? I don't know. Maybe I did throw it away. But anyways, it'd been arcing for some period of time, really for quite a while. Who knows how long? Well, it was a 2015 or 2016 transformer, a 2015 board. The cases had been replaced on it. The front and back cases were not the original ones because they were missing the stickers on it. So I think this thing has been worked on a number of times over the course of the last 20 years or 15, 18 years that the guys own this model. And but the transformer arced so bad. I do not think it was lightning. I think it was due to age or whatever. Maybe it did get hit by lightning at some point in time. But this thing does indeed still work. I'm unplugging it. We got another transformer in there, which it's a Gallagher transformer for another model, but it works. So, man, if I could go back in time and show you the video. I started making a video on it, but I realized that I'm going to be on this thing. I got to focus in on what I'm doing versus explaining what I'm doing. So we'll get this transformer unplugged. I had to drill the holes out here where the transformer goes in at. Pull this transformer. I'm trying to be careful so I don't break anything, because I don't want to get shocked by anything either, because I just had this thing going here a little bit ago. But there's the back side. Look at it just did to that board. I mean, this is what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be nice and clean and all that stuff, and you can look and see it just burnt the hell out of it. So what I did was I pulled every single component part off the board that was there. Only thing I didn't replace was there's one resistor right down there behind this SCR. Right there. I need to put a new SCR on this. These are 2 spare ones that came off another brand, but because I didn't have any new ones. But the legs are so dang short. If I wiggle this too much, it's going to break loose from itself. So I needed to get a new SCR. I need to get 2 new ones. I'm going to replace both of these. They're good, but they're short. And if I bend it too many times, this thing's just going to pop off and things going to shut down again anyways. So I got to replace it. Did put a new capacitor in. Just kind of put it on there, ran the wires over to here where they needed to go. But I can look at all the, man, it was fun. I mean, it's frustrating and fun at the same time. Frustrating was because I was trying to save the unit from being thrown away. Let's pull these two capacitors off real quick. Come on. See all the wiring I had to do to fix all the broken traces, and then all the traces that were missing here. Basically, you had to shove all the pieces where they needed to go, solder them all together, because basically what that big clump of crap there is, all the soldering right there, all these resistors and stuff, is all this right there. And then these were all burnt up where the transformer plugged in at, so they were different ones than what this one. I think this is a 2010 board, and they've changed them later on the boards. This is a 2015 board, and I don't think 2011 and later they must have changed them on the boards on the way that they had these little sleeves installed, and different types of sleeves. Well, they were burnt up. This one was really bad. This one was not as bad, but it was bad enough. So we heated up the solder, pulled it out of there, drilled the holes out to make the holes bigger, and then we put these wires right here, crimped on some female spade connectors, because that's the type of connection that's on the actual transformer itself. Put the transformer in there. We take these wires and just plug them right onto those, right, because they fit inside the hole nice, so that way you plug it right on there. And then we had there was no soldering spots left over for the resistors that were on top, so we just figured out where they went and then wired them up, soldered them where they had to go. This was a job. This was not for the faint at heart. Gallagher told the customer, the dealer, that for the customer to send it in, this was beyond repair. Throw it away. We'll give you 10% off a new one, or whatever the discount they were trying to give the customer. And so the dealer, we'd done some work for the dealer, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. It'd been a while since we worked anything for him, and he called me up because the customer was pretty disgusted that he couldn't get his unit fixed, because the price of a new one was so dang high. You know, the MBS 1800i is the exact equivalent replacement unit, and they're like $1,300, something like that. They do make a dumbed down version model called the M1800, which would probably be the one I would probably had gone with if I had chose the trade out route. But they're like $775, even if you knock like 10 or 12% off. What are you getting? 75, 80 bucks off the price, something like that. And then you got to pay the, if there's any tax on it, that might eat up part of the money that you save. So, so the customer he said, what would it cost probably to fix this thing? I said, I do not know. I said, I need to get it here and let me see, basically let me give you a second opinion. So I just fought the thing. The hardest thing was getting the wiring right and getting, all the components in the right spot, tied the right pieces together, having the right parts in stock, which, like I said, I need to replace these two SERs. They're working. They're right. They're actually for a size bigger, but they're holding on by a thread. They're not. If they get bumped just right, those little leads are going to break off from the SER itself, and then the SER is going to fall loose. So we're going to end up replacing the SERs, but as long as I don't mess this up anymore, we should be able to plug everything back into the capacitors back. All the capacitors were good, except for one. It was all burnt up from it arcing. I think the capacitor might have been okay, but I was like, I'm just going to replace it. So we got this one in its place. And since it won't physically fit on the area that the original one was at, we just double-sided film taped it down. And then I will put a bead of glue, not caulking, but some kind of really hard glue that turns to a rock, and put a bead across the 2-3 of the sides. and I basically soldered wires to it, ran it across, and soldered it to the corresponding spots that the capacitor was being used on. But let's plug it in here. As long as I didn't booger these up, messing around with it, this thing should take off again. The green bulb's burned out, but that's cosmetic more than anything. It's not gonna. It's just a power light. Tell you, hey, the power's on. Yeah, I spent like 2.5 hours on it. Most of it was cleaning things up. Probably 10 minutes of it was getting the thing apart, and then I had to cross-reference a good-looking board to the bad board and figure out where everything went, because I had to. It was so burned up you couldn't see where anything went half the time, anyways. All right, so turn it on. Oh, shit. Okay, I probably messed that SCR up. It was just working 2 minutes before I started making the video. See, it's holding a charge. So I got to get those SCRs changed. See the green light bulb's not discharging, so it's not clicking because one of those SCRs, the leg must have broke. I've been around too much, now it's not working. But I swear, if I get this thing going again, I'll make a part 2 video of showing you that it's working. But I put a tester on there. We're getting like 9,000 volts out of it. It's working like a dream. It's slowly discharging. These capacitors hold a charge for quite some time. So to bleed it all off there, when we finally bleed off the right capacitor, that bulb will go out. So I don't know which one we need to discharge. We'll try this one first. Not that one. That was that one. Yeah, but it was working just a few moments ago. That's why I decided to make a video showing it working. But before I call the customer to give them the good news and a price to fixing it and stuff, I want to make sure that to get these SCRs in the right ones in the right spot. I need to order some in. I don't have. I had some like 3 spare ones, but it's none of them were good. They were the ones I pulled out of a junk unit of some sort. And then these came out. These were good. They came out of a burnt up board of another model of Gallagher, a bigger model, and I pulled the SCRs out of there. But the leads were so dang short. They fit through and soldered on and everything, but there was no give. There was no. If you messed around with it too many times, it's like taking a tab on a can of soda. You bend that thing back forward enough times, eventually it breaks off. So that's what's happened. I've moved things around so many times and bumped those things too many times, bend it back, back and forth too many times. Now one of them, probably that one right there, that one's real loose. Yeah, it's holding on by a thread. So I need to change out both SCRs. That way we're not dealing with, that situation. And this thing will probably go right back to working. So, but anyways, I thought I'd give you guys a little insight of what we had to do to this thing. I'll make a part 2 when I get those parts here. They probably won't be here for a few days. We get them we don't buy them from eBay. We buy them from a reputable online electronics component website. We got 2 or 3 different ones they shop at, depending on who's got what in stock and who might have a deal on some. So we'll have to order some of those in. But anyways, thanks for watching our channel here. We'll make part 2 here before too long. And thanks for checking us out. Until next time, see you guys later on.